minute early.
Bodily.
Christy,
Bodily we're here, right?
Yeah.
Mentally, who knows?
don't admit to anything, Jan.
That's right, we're never sure.
Physically.
Good thing we didn't start recording it.
All right, so we have ordinance 101, which is will be in regards to this public hearing we have today. Any further questions on this or anything else to note, Mark? All right.
Ready to pass.
It's third reading.
It'll
right?
be the third reading on this then. All right. Ordinance 2, leaf vacuum loader and 2 leaf containment bodies. Mr. Wilson?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, anything else you want to add to that?
That's about it. It's exactly like the 2 that went through, I think it was in September. Exact same unit. We talked to Varus and we had enough money in the capital budget to cover one more.
Some prior year
Yeah, it was some prior year things, and there was some random things like some leftover from a bucket truck and just odds and ends like that. So we're requiring one more if it passes, and then that will be 3 out of the 4 units that need replaced.
You can just put it in my backyard.
All right?
Come out the leaves from the church.
So we'll have 3 new ones, is what you're
Right.
saying?
Okay.
The neighbor gave me a tough time, or gave Greg a tough time saying your leaves are my yard, because these are God's leaves. These trees have been here for
There you
eons,
go.
before we even built the house.
But this is, you want to talk a little about the efficiency of these, because how it's going to help us.
Yeah, I think it'll help us be a little more efficient when we go to this style with, so instead of being all in one unit, it's like they're pull-behind styles where if you fill up one box, you can actually swap it out and take the truck to dump and then bring another truck that's empty and continue to suck leaves. So in other words, you're not shutting down a 4 or 5 person crew to go to the dump and, dump.
You send 1 or 2 guys back to dump it.
Yeah, you can just send 1 or 2 to dump and you can continue on. So, 1. So yeah.
Great
It's,
idea.
Is that something that we did this year already, or is it
no,
be new
we,
next
we
year?
don't actually have any of them yet.
Okay.
We're still waiting.
Yeah.
These things are like a year out, just like everything else. I mean,
I saw it, that played out, because I'm up on Firestone. They would
Yeah.
come by, and you hear them going real slow, and then they, like 20 minutes later, they were driving back to dump.
Yeah.
I saw it play out multiple times.
yeah, and they fill up quick, and
Yeah.
the boxes that we're getting, I think they're just, I know they're 20 yards. I think the ones we have are 20, maybe 25 yards. So we're not really losing any capacity. It's not like we're filling up really quick again, or it's about the same capacity. So hopefully be more efficient. Anything to help our efficiency. I know people want to leave sucked up now.
You guys did a great job this year.
We had a good year.
I think weather was
The
favorable.
weather really helps.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Will the timing be close to the other 2?
probably.
Okay.
They're probably gonna kind of run together.
So do you think you'll have them this September? All 3 of them?
I'm hoping.
Everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
one might be delayed a little bit.
All right, can we do this then, 1, 2, 3? This is already in our budget. We knew this was coming. And if we get it in now, hopefully we can get it by the fall. All right, next is getting rid of, which one is, I'm not sure which one this is.
I think that's the engine. Fire
truck.
Fire
Or
truck.
pumper. Pumper. That's what-
Anything you want to say on this one?
It's old, but not as old as me. Older than most of my staff. It's a 1999. It looks great. The guys take good care of it. But you go underneath it, it's rusty. It's got some frame jacking going on where there's 2 channels, and it starts to rust and start raising up. And will eventually crack the frame. Look at the legislation. It's the reserve set by myself, simply because I don't know what to put it at. And I don't want to have to come back to you guys, say, we put it out there in reserve, it's 25, we can get it. Our ladder, for instance, ultimately sold for $4,000. So I don't know what to expect out there.
Is this a truck we already have a replacement
Yes,
for?
yep, see, and that's replacing the engine that you got in October.
Any further questions on this one?
There's also a provision in there in case it doesn't sell at auction, it authorizes the chief to otherwise dispose of it, whether that's through salvage or.
Alright, let's do 1, 2, 3 on this. It's a pretty straightforward ask. Thank you. And then the next one, I don't remember, was this
Fire rescue tools.
All the
just a bag of
hydraulic,
tools?
the original tools the city of Macedonia purchased to cut apart cars, Jaws of Life. They were actually purchased in 1981. I think we've got our use out of them. They were replaced a couple of years ago with new technology, battery operated. We're putting them out, no reserve set, because I have no clue who might even want them.
Collectors.
Yeah, I mean,
Some
these
weirdo.
things are $85.
Some guy who's got one sitting, got an engine sitting way back in the back of his yard.
Yeah, there you
To
go.
put it in perspective, the guy that bought the ladder truck puts Christmas up with it once a year and then parks it. That's all he does.
In the summer, he puts it over his farm pond and he uses it as a diving
A
platform.
diving platform.
Really?
'Cause that's about all it's good for.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. Jeff is jealous.
I wanna get his number and see if he wants to come next.
We'll do
I think
one,
he can work with you.
1, 2, 3 on that.
Not sure my neighbor wants that on his driveway.
Oh, yeah, I would crush your neighbor's driveway.
This is the next one, number 5, is for ODOT maintenance of the bridge crossing Indian Creek
Clean out, no cost to the city.
This is on 8?
by Duncan.
82.
82, okay.
82.
Got it.
It's, I'll speak for him. That's actually a bridge.
Yep.
It doesn't look
It
like a
just
bridge,
looks like
but it's a
pavement
bridge.
to us,
But
yeah.
Yeah, so this is Route 82 crossing over Indian Creek, kind of right in front of Dunkin' Donuts. To your point, when you drive over it, you don't even know you're driving over a bridge, but it is technically a bridge. I mean, that thing is 20 feet wide down below. So ODOT will be basically cleaning out the bridge, the debris, the sediment, the weeds, everything that's collected under there over the years. They're gonna come in and clean it out. Won't be till later this summer, but they are required to have us pass this consent legislation to allow them to work in the city.
And I
No
assume
cost
it,
to us, so it's,
I assume it won't interrupt traffic whatsoever.
they might close a lane, but there's no detour, no road closure.
All right. Any further
Yeah.
questions?
It's something that has to be done periodically. When I lived on my street on Navajo,
Mm-hmm.
we had a bad storm flood all the way up. Neighbors were on their canoes because it backs all the way up.
Oh yeah.
And so and that used to be, well, it used to be the Willow.
Right.
It was there, and the post office.
Yep. And the drugstore.
Lawson's.
And east of Chicago Pizza for a minute.
Right, I remember that one. I
Yeah.
remember the Willow, the post office, and now that you said
Yeah. East of
And
Chicago.
a doctor.
the pizza shop.
All right. Let's do 1, 2, 3 on this. It's a pretty
Yeah,
simple
please.
thing, and we need to get it done so they can get there and done. All right. The next is the tax agreement with B&B Theaters.
So we've been in negotiations with the property owner and B&B Theaters. Guess the cat's out of the hat, Cinemark's leaving. They're proposing a $6 to $7 million improvement within there. If you look up B&B in their theaters, this is not your normal thing. This is like next level stuff. Like when they came in to present to us, it was really, really cool. It will reduce seating in there. A lot of them are recliners. They'll have food. They'll have drinks. You can have drinks while you're in the movie theater. It's huge, and they don't really know which types of theaters. But the one example I can give you is they had the theater up where it's your normal screen. It's bigger than the screens that are in there, and then there were side screens. So they did the Top Gun where the jet flew all the way across, and you went. And it was awesome. Like, it is really, really cool. I think it's going to be a huge draw. I think it's going to be a big deal for us. In terms of the tax agreement, this is really beneficial to us because right now we collect $75,000. If you read that, we're still going to collect the first $75,000. Anything after that, we're going to take half. They think that they're going to double the $75,000 we get now, so it's a win for us no matter what we do. There's a lot of little details that we're still going to work out with them with the law department. But I think this is a great win for us because that's a huge investment in that facility that it's going to be big. I think it's going to be very, very popular as well.
And they're the largest privately owned theater company in the US. This will be the first one in Ohio.
Yeah, I saw that the first one in a while.
I've been to them in Texas.
Oh, yeah?
They're cool.
Yeah.
Is there a commitment, like they have to be here for X years to continue getting this, or is it like?
If they stop paying us admissions tax, they get nothing.
Yeah, the trigger's them
Okay,
paying.
yeah, good point.
So
It has
it's
to be
a
over.
true refund.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
and
capped at 10 years.
it's after they pay us.
Does it expire or is it?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years, okay.
10 years. So no matter what, we're still getting what we're getting today.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a win no matter what we do.
Right.
So, we did talk about a few other catches in there, like I spoke with the police chief about, you know, if we're gonna have that many people in there, because if you recall back when that first opened, it was wildly popular, and we always had police there, so we may need that again. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, and some other small details, but again, I think it's gonna be a win for us.
Well, will there be alcohol involved in it?
Yeah.
So, again, will that require them to have a police officer?
We don't have a current ordinance that requires that now.
We don't anticipate, look, I don't wanna jinx us, but we don't anticipate people going in there to.
Just asking.
I get it, we don't think that they're gonna go in there, you know, with
Do
the
they
purpose
currently
of.
have a liquor license at Cinemark? I
I
don't
think they
remember
have
if we
a
did
beer.
one.
Yeah,
Beer and wine. They don't have liquor.
But
the
they,
bar-
I know I
think
signed one.
They just applied for a full, B&B applied for a full one?
yeah, they'll
I
probably.
saw
go
the
up there.
Barbie movie, there was a lot of drinking.
I drank after I saw that.
There was a lot of drinking.
That was horrible.
With the reduced occupancy, we'll obviously be able to reduce the number of parking spaces for you. So will that help eventually put that parcel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've
Well-
talked about those out parcels for
Yeah.
other types of business. It actually will work in favor of that as well.
Right,
So
yeah.
another win because we can have more business, and I'm not mad about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice that they're doing that, because I know a lot of people choose to go, like, I'll go to Valley View instead of going here
Yeah.
because of the recliner seats.
And just to look on the
I don't need
outside is
Macedonia,
gonna
I
be
just
that
stay
much
right
nicer.
here. I spend my dollars in town.
They have recliners here. I go here during the day.
They
Yeah.
do, they sit back.
After she leaves Chick-fil-A.
You can't put your legs up.
No, before,
Before.
so I don't fall asleep.
But it's gonna be definitely, it sounds like it's one of those destination
Yeah,
movie
it
theaters.
is. Yeah.
Like the ones, like the other ones in Texas. I don't think,
Yeah.
that's not the one in Oz,
It's like an Alamo Draft
yeah,
House is
Alamo
what it's
Draft
called.
House, that's the
You
other
wouldn't think
ones.
that's a movie theater, but that
Yeah.
it is. They
When are
basically
they-
just take
When are
every
they
other.
taking over?
They were talking February 1st. I don't know if that's gonna hold true. They may let it go for another month while they get things together. I
Yeah.
mean, they're gonna kind of time this thing up. So I don't really have the exact date yet, but they were waiting on this. This is one of the last pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, they say a lot of their customers come from a
Yeah,
Outside of the
1 hour radius.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Well, it's because a lot have closed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and what they offer, they have one just for kids, you know, with a kiddie playland on the left.
Oh,
and
wow.
So,
They're in
you know,
the theater.
families with kids don't feel bad going to a movie because everybody else in that theater has kids.
But to be clear, they shut it down during the movie.
Yeah.
Kids aren't gonna be playing in a play place station thing, whatever.
Right,
while the
but,
movie's going
yeah,
on.
they-
Initially, when I read the legislation, I thought, you know, this is better than having an empty theater,
Yeah.
because what you put in it, right? But the more I'm hearing, this sounds like it's even better than just.
Yeah.
They have the one type of theater where you sit there, it has the vibrating
Oh,
seats
yeah.
for the movie, it'll blow air, it'll sprinkle
Oh, wow.
water
Like
on
Disney
you.
World.
I mean, it is like,
It's like-
I don't know that we're getting that one, that's
Right.
what they're trying to figure out, because again, it's a huge investment, but
Right.
I'm excited for this
Yeah.
one.
That's
I may go to
what
the movies more.
Top Gun was like that over here.
I saw the Wonka movie, it was really good.
I saw it.
That's in America.
Yeah, I saw it at Cinemark in Macedonia.
No complaints.
Right? Alright, so, it sounds like they're waiting on this to get this done, so I propose that we do this 1, 2, 3.
Got it.
Any objections to that? Alright, we'll do 1, 2, 3 on that. Then we'll have a motion, and Vinny and Dave are gonna do that. Have any questions on that, Vinny? Are you good with all the pronunciations?
Surely you just.
Oh, you do?
Zoo family?
Yeah, I do believe that that's how it's pronounced, Zoo.
I got Macedonia Police Department, I can get that one.
Okay.
And Sherry Bevan.
Chevy, Bevan
Sherry,
Walsh.
Sherry Bevan Walsh,
Yeah.
yes.
I think it's Zahoo.
And we have one more point of business. I want to get us talking about the the business moratorium that we have set up. I talked to Mark, and they're still working. Law and building department are still working out.
Yeah,
having information for us. So you plan to have that by the second meeting in February?
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get something together with Brian France, he's our planner, who we met with as well, and I'm hoping we can get something together in the next few weeks to allow you guys to discuss it towards the end of February.
Okay, so we will plan on doing that. I think what we'll do is just have a discussion within the work session in February. Then we can decide whether or not we think that it's, do we want to let the moratorium expire? Do we want to have an ordinance and vote on it? Or do we want to then after that have a public meeting and get some public input and then decide after that? So plan on that probably at the second meeting in February.
Is this
I
just
agree with
for-
having a public hearing, only because I hear about it all the time.
Right.
No more, no more, no more.
But we'll get some information and some facts first from, and we'll talk about it amongst ourselves.
Did you ever
Is this
count
for
the
all
number
of
of
them or
sub
just
shops?
the original?
Just the original
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, okay.
So car wash. Because
Yeah.
we're still waiting
Too
on
many
the
car
state
washes.
for more information about marijuana dispensaries. I assume they really haven't done
Yeah.
anything in that regard.
Yeah, I don't know how the mattress companies stay in business.
This was a
I never see anybody in
7,000%
there.
markup on them, that's why.
No matter when I
Sell
go
one
to work,
mattress,
I'm
you're good for
over
a
by-
month.
Someone at the mattress companies knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they wouldn't
Well,
be
I'm hoping
investing
that
in
the
it.
new tea shop does well. The mocha that was in there was unbelievable, but they got killed by COVID.
Right, they opened right during
They were
COVID.
really good.
Yeah, that tea shop looks pretty exciting.
They're awesome.
They have good stuff.
It's really good.
Where's that at?
It's like boba, a lot of the, next to the,
Freeway and 82.
what's the smoke shop called?
Oh,
Smoke
That's
fest.
what-
Stuff and
okay,
stuff.
oh, over there, right.
There's always somebody in the smoke shop,
Yeah.
always.
Anything else? I made sure that we had enough time to talk about everything. Now we have way too much time. So
Lottery number.
Updates?
yes.
So the service building, we are at a point where we have a rendering. I didn't want to show it to you guys yet because we don't know the cost yet. Until I get the cost, I don't want to show you anything because it's really conjecture at this point. We've narrowed it down to 2, it kind of conforms. It's got the Western Reserve styling. They're going to go out to an estimator to figure out what it costs to see if we're within our budget, which we believe we will be. But until they tell me that, I don't want to show you anything because it doesn't really matter until they tell me. So as soon as we get that, I think we're moving into that step right now. We just sent it out today, right?
Yeah, I think
Yesterday.
so.
Yesterday.
It doesn't have to be in the Western Reserve styling down there.
It does not
it?
have to, but if we're gonna ask people to do things, we're gonna conform to our thing, and that's my feeling all along. There was another building I liked a lot that's more modern and looks hip and cool, but that's not what we're,
It'll be dated in 10 years.
exactly. It's a really stylish building, but it would look weird with that
In that
one building.
location.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then with that, the town center, I wanna get this project done and up and running at least, and then I'll start moving towards the town center for more progress on that, because there's some things I have in the works on that, but kind of putting it on the back burner right now, because I need to get this service building completed before I take on anything else.
Do you have an estimate of, I know you don't even have an estimate of cost, but do you have an estimate of time?
2 years.
2 years from now.
Well,
From breaking ground.
From today, I'm writing it down.
I mean, we can maybe be, I wanna be conservative, 2 years, I mean, hopefully a year and a half, who knows? I mean, things can change.
But not
you know.
this year.
You'll see action this year. We'll definitely see movement, a lot of movement. I think that's very, very realistic. I'm pushing hard, and Mr. Gelati, I drive him nuts, and the group by Alaski, they get a little anxious when I'm in the room, because I have no patience for delaying anything.
They enjoy it.
Are
They-
we still,
yeah.
are we demolishing the building? Are we keeping
The
parts
intent
of the
right
building?
now is the back large rectangular portion is the only usable portion that we feel will be safe. The problem we have with the rest of the building is a lot of poles holding up everything inside of there. So if you have big plow trucks driving through there, and look, we could probably make it work, but the amount of money we're gonna stick into it, you might as well build something new and make it safe, and that was the whole thinking. So we'll keep that back portion, it'll be a one-way in, one-way out. Everything's gonna be very, very efficient, and it's gonna be safe. That's the biggest piece of all, is I want a safe building for us to operate out of that gives us everything that we've needed for the existence of Macedonia.
So the back portion is the northern end of the building.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the larger, that thing was built in compartments, like, I think they added onto it so many times, and if you walk through it, if any of you have the desire to come through, I'll take you through, you can see. It's just a hodgepodge of a lot of strange things. Nothing really makes a whole lot of sense in there. But still, the value of the land alone made that a great deal.
If you get anybody else that wants to take a tour, I'm not gonna ask for just you and I to go ahead and walk through there, but if there's anybody else that wants to take the tour, I'll gladly join.
Yeah, I'll walk you guys through. It'll give you a good feeling for why we're doing what we're doing. We spent a lot of times with all the department heads that are involved in this to get to where we're at today. I have a lot of time invested in this.
Joe, what's the timing on the Highland intersection? Is that this year?
Highland,
The Highland and
Valley
and
View.
Valley?
2025 construction.
Okay, so it might line up.
And what about?
Yeah, it's possible they
Yeah.
could both be going on at the same time, and
I'm
that's.
not talking about, I'm actually more worried about, our crew having access to a nicer intersection, you know?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true, yeah, I guess.
Is that the same,
Eventually, they'll be able to get out and get through that intersection
Yeah,
much faster.
is that the
Good
same
point.
as Shepherd and Broadway?
Yeah,
We're
same,
doing
yes.
2025?
2025, yes.
oh wow.
Well, Shepherd Broadway will start in July of '24, right?
For Shepherd?
That's their fiscal year, that's what I've always been told.
And,
Goodness, when we voted on
Not
that, it
better.
sounded like it was
No?
such a far away. It's next year.
Or talk to
Yeah.
Henry. Talk to Henry.
Came quick.
Wow, yeah.
we get rid of him.
That goes hand in hand with your little one.
Right?
I had someone ask me
First
why we're not
birthday,
putting a
bam!
roundabout there. At Highland and Valley View, and I said, we're
Again.
not doing a roundabout.
You say, because the people didn't want it, and I stopped
I think
it.
it would work great, but
Is there
What's
any
it-
thought
It
of
won't work with
looking-
the hill.
I think you'd have to make it too big to get enough.
Is there any thought of
visibility
looking
of
at Highland altogether?
I've talked with
It's
ODOT.
too small.
I've talked with ODOT about that. I mean, you're talking mega bucks. There were other solutions floated, but it's
I
mega
know,
bucks.
but
For where?
we have every
Highland.
semi,
Widening
Oh, widening Highland.
every semi coming out of Twinsburg and going into Twinsburg.
Yeah,
And then the light for the school doesn't work except during school hours, so the bus is taking a, the RTA bus is taking a shot trying to turn right. It's scary.
Is there any reason,
It's
Chief,
honestly not that bad.
that light shouldn't be
No,
on
Drive down it at
a
4.
trip at least, so when
3, 4,
somebody's
and 5,
southbound
It's horrible.
on that street, that it'll at least click for them to get out of there?
It is on a trip.
it is
Well,
on a trip.
It's on a trip when it functions, and it does function past school. It functions, I think, till 4:30. I know
I
today
think
I was
only
down
like
there.
3:30.
No, I was down there today at
Think?
about 10 after 4 and it was still functioning.
Okay.
So I think it goes to 4:30. We've tried a lot of different things over the years with that light, including cycling it even through rush hour so people could get off South Bedford and then backed up to 91. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is other than widening that road. So, I mean,
Well, that and
and
on
with the
the-
bridge in the equation now, we're talking.
Yeah.
And when that bridge went in, I think that bridge was what, 15 million, if my memory serves me correct. I mean, I can only imagine what expanding that bridge today would cost.
30.
Well, and then on the other side, you have the drag raceway.
Right,
People turning left off of 8, and it goes down to one lane.
right.
But they're, and every semi's in the center lane to make it, everybody else is like this, cutting them
But
off.
that was all engineered, if I'm not mistaken, by ODOT when they worked on Route 8 and
It's a-
widened that. Highland
But we didn't
Road
have that
down.
kind of traffic, though. The traffic is wild.
Yeah, it was before Amazon.
Don't you have
started.
So the good news is that you guys may remember from a meeting late last fall or November-ish, whenever, we did get awarded the grant from AMATS for $2.2 million to redo that intersection. It'll clean up everything you guys just discussed. The drag strip, South Bedford Highland intersection, the Route 8 Highland intersection, sidewalk in front of the high school, it's all included in that project.
What's changing on the 2 lanes when you make a left onto Highland East?
It'll be straightened out in some way so that one lane has the right of way and the other lane has to yield. Because right now you have, as you know, you have 2 lanes
Yep.
that perfectly merge into one,
Right.
which is centered in the 2, and so it only takes one guy who's not familiar and
Or
he
doesn't
know.
care.
Oh, no,
Or
they're
doesn't care.
familiar and don't care, and they need to get home.
Yeah, whatever their
Yeah.
behavior is.
These
yeah.
people know.
It's awkward.
It's kind of like the other side on 82 coming from Twinsburg, that
Oh, yeah.
drag raceway point.
Yeah, right before the church.
And after the, when you go to the rec center,
Mhm.
That's
We
a
at some
popular
point need to
one.
talk to
that's a
Twinsburg to
popular-
The
fix
last
it.
study there, they were like, there's
That's just been
no way,
horrible.
we're years of,
Yeah.
lots more traffic before we get even the state.
Yeah, the
to
numbers are-
recognize
Really,
it.
up there in
Yeah.
Twinsburg?
From where it narrows down, because
Mhm.
the last time they did it, they talked about going 4 lanes all the way to Chamberlain Road.
Right.
And the study in that portion, Joe, do you remember any of that?
I mean, it was so long ago,
But I remember it was so far from the
Yeah.
threshold that it's like, oh man, we may never get there.
Yeah, it's
Even with
not-
Amazon, even this.
Well, Amazon wasn't there at the time, but Chrysler
Yeah.
was.
Chrysler was still there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, but Chrysler
Amazon-
wasn't
once
productive at
Amazon
the
showed
time.
up-
Right.
Oh, yeah, they were.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Are
As
they,
productive
are
as-
they ever?
The other one,
Chrysler
When
was
they-
still going strong at that time when they
when
did
they
that.
Here we
Joe,
go.
when they look at the intersection there, they're gonna look at
Chrysler.
Kentucky
But
Fried.
still, everyone was
or
driving a semi
And
to
they
work
get-
at
you gotta do a
Chrysler.
right turn. People are trying to make left
Right.
turns and it just,
All right, folks, we
It's
have this public hearing for
Well,
15
yeah,
minutes
they have to be
in
able to
5
get out.
minutes, and then after that, we will see you for the public regular meeting. Thanks.
5th, 2024. It is 7:17 PM. Mr. Huber, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Finley.
Here.
Mr. Garvis.
Here.
Ms. Tully.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here.
The purpose of the hearing, Mr. Huber?
To consider an amendment to the Northfield Center Township Macedonia Joint Economic Development District Agreement regarding the addition of 2.3087 acres of land to be placed into the territory of the JED.
So essentially what this is the new dental office that was built. It's Nordonia Dental. Everyone knows Dr. Z. He's a pretty popular guy and a great dentist, but I don't want to advertise for him, but he is awesome. But they wanted to be in the JED because it helps them with, zoning and things like that. It's a benefit to the city, it's a benefit to Northfield Center. I guess with that, I would open the floor to anyone that wants to speak, or council. Or Mr. Goodetti, you look like you want to get something out.
Just have a cough drop in my mouth. I was gonna say, Northfield Center Township has to follow a similar track that you guys are following, pass their own resolution. Once you guys have passed, assuming you pass tonight, and once the trustees pass, then we'll reconvene the JED board to pass a third resolution. And that third resolution is what formally would add this into the JED. Then we start collecting taxes from that.
And what's the feeling from Northfield? Are they positive?
Yeah, it was discussions between Northfield and the dentist that kind of generated this from the outset, so they're supportive of it.
Because they have more property around it that's up for sale. So we could have even a little district there. Because they have their own fire station building that they want to sell. And there's a vacant piece of property, and then there's that building the dentist built is gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Very nice.
I don't want to go inside, but.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. So essentially, it's, just to put it into perspective too, is it's a 50-50 split. Whenever we do these things, normally a township will not get any tax dollars with them being involved with us and coming
Yep.
into the play. They get 50%, we get 50%, so it's a win-win for everybody. And if you know anything about taxes, you want doctors and nurses and dental hygienists and all that. It generates good revenue, which does nothing but help our communities.
Well, and the other thing being where it's at, we're not responsible for the driveway or the Route 82 down there. We're here in the Commons, we're half and half. So you notice one side of or not the Commons, over at Target, if you notice the old Golden Gate, if you notice the one side, the driveway's paved, gorgeous, and you notice the other side, that's the townships, it's not there yet. So it's nice to have.
Any other discussion? Sir, are you here for the public hearing?
I'm here for,
The council meeting. Or the council meeting, currently we're having a public hearing about
Council meeting. What
the
time
JED.
council meeting?
7:30.
No, you can stay.
You can stay.
Oh, you're
We
welcome to
just-
stay. I
I
don't
just
know.
wondered if you had any comments.
Yeah, we were asked if you,
no, for council meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, just relax a bit.
so anything else on the JED? Hearing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. We'll be back in 10 minutes for council. Hello and welcome to the January 25th council meeting. It is 7:30 PM. Will Mr. Hoover please call the roll?
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Finley.
Here.
Mr. Garvis.
Here.
Ms. Tully.
Here.
Mr. Ventura.
Here. Now we ask American Legion Chaplain Tom O'Brien to lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Honorable Mayor, esteemed council members, fellow citizens, as we gather here this evening for our council meeting, let us take a moment to reflect on the shared values that bind us together as a community. In a spirit of unity and understanding, we invoke the collective wisdom and compassion that guides our decisions. May our deliberations be characterized by a commitment to the well-being of residents and a dedication to fostering a diverse and vibrant city. Let us approach the issues before us with open hearts, a genuine desire to contribute to the betterment of our community. May this meeting be a testament to the strength of our democratic process and a reminder that, together, we can build a city that reflects the aspirations and dreams of each and every one of us. In this invocation, we seek guidance, inspiration, and the courage to make decisions that serve the greater good. May our decisions be marked by a spirit of cooperation, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to creating a city that thrives on diversity and innovation. As we navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, let us keep in mind the trust that the community has placed in us to lead with integrity and dedication. May this City Council meeting be a testament to our collective responsibilities to shape a future that is just, equitable, and prosperous for all. Amen. And now please face the flag and with hand over heart, join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. We appreciate you. Okay, next up is the approval of minutes.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the Thursday, January 11th, 2024 regular council meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, next up is public comments. We ask that you come to the microphone here, state your name, address. There's a 5-minute time limit. When the alarm goes off, your time will be up. And first on our list is Mr. Kundrat. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah, we live up on top of Shepherd Hills Boulevard, and we have an issue with speeders coming through Shepherd Hills because it's a cut through at 50, 60 miles an hour. You know, I walk my dog not till like 10 o'clock because there's less speeders than there is the rest of the time. And I've made a few calls about it, and an officer come by, and they'll sit there for 5 minutes, nothing ever happens. Though we do see a lot, them sitting down at the bottom of Shepherd Hills at Sioux, which has sidewalks, giving out tickets, but we don't have sidewalks up there. And there's a young family that they're walking their children up there. There's dog walkers. Most of them, I live on Briarwood, they use my street to walk their dogs because of the speeders on the thing. They have that speed thing there, and the people use it as a high mark. You know, it's constantly going off, you know, and it doesn't seem like nothing ever happens about it.
It's, to be honest with you, that's the number one complaint I get all across town is speeders. And what we do, and the chief will, I'm sure will speak this in a moment, but we'll add to our detail. We'll keep an eye on it. Ironically, a lot of times when we do catch people, it's residents. And that's kind of terrible if you think about it, because you would think, you know, in your own community you wouldn't do that. But I'll let the chief speak to it.
Well, one of the persons here, his wife got a ticket for 40 on the thing, you know, and, you know, I don't want to be hypocritical. I mean, she deserved because she was going 40, you know. I think 11 miles an hour is the limit right there. You know, I mean, if it's 25, you can't say 40's fine, you know, especially, like I say, with no sidewalks, you know. And again, you know, I sit there with my radar gun and I could sit there and clock people at 50 miles an hour down there all the time, you know, because it's a cut-through street. You know, if you want to go fast or go down there and take, you know, what's the road down the street, Ledge, you know, which is 35, whatever, or put a stop sign at the next intersection there, even though it's stupid, but at least to slow people down.
Do we still, is the sign still up there?
The speed sign?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because we could pull data from those, that's the nice thing about those, and I'm gonna pull that. Director Wilson, if you pull that data for me tomorrow so I can take a look at it. And I'll take a look at what's on there, 'cause it tells you very specifically all of that stuff, so I wanna take a look at that.
Even the locals that live on that street that sign's at, they speed to that sign and then turn down their street. You know, there's people coming up to the stop sign at the corner at 50 miles an hour and stopping at the last second up there. You know, I mean, and Sundays is the worst day, for some reason.
Late for church, that's why.
Or after Brown's game and they're drunk or whatever. I almost got ran over twice because of that. In the driveway, out of the thing. You know, I carry my flashlight, got a blinking flashlight, you know, that people could see me, you know. But at the same time too, like I says, you know, they should not be going that fast down there, and it's a cut-through street. You know, it's same with a Laurel's the same way. At least they put a stop sign there to slow them down there. You know, and the stop sign by us is down at the bottom of the hill.
Well, we'll definitely add to the details. Yeah, go ahead.
So I agree with you. I mean, it's one of the biggest complaints I get is Shepherd Hills and Laurel. I mean, there's many others throughout the city. The speed sign was added there to try to reduce this problem. The guy sit at the bottom of the hill, because with a laser unit, it's not a radar, it's a laser. As far as we can see, we can get their speed. So we would basically wait for them to come to us, then we stop them and write them a ticket. That could be somebody that they clocked right up there by Tanglewood. If they could see it, depending on the type of vehicle, how high it is, whatever, they can get a speed on it from the bottom of the hill. So, I mean, I can encourage them if it would make the neighborhood feel better, we can put them up higher, but there's not a whole lot of good places to sit where they could see us. When we're so far away and that laser works to our advantage, it's useful for enforcement, and we're doing really the best we can. I know that the guys will patrol up there as well, and there's a couple house checks up there that we do also, and there's a gentleman at the bottom of the hill that's in a wheelchair that we try to make sure we're patrolling that area as well because he's complained about it. But the guys, they may have to call out there for the detail, and they plan to spend maybe 20 minutes, and then they're there 3 and they get a call for service. They gotta go to the Commons, or they gotta go to the business district, or another house somewhere. I mean, I mean, you can call me anytime. My number and email's on the web, on our Facebook, or our city webpage. Any suggestions, or if one of the neighbors up there on Shepherd Hill says, yeah, they could sit in my driveway.
Well, they can sit up by us, no problem.
Yeah, so can we effectively do it? Like, we were just up there yesterday on a different matter, but right there at Tanglewood and.
4 cars.
Yeah.
The day before also.
Yeah, it was a matter that required all the officers, so, but we're always looking for. That's not good. That was just a timer. We're always looking for citizens that are willing to cooperate and say, hey, yeah, you know, my driveway, I got a tree here, and I'm not saying we're hiding for speeders. This is a huge complaint, and we want to do everything we can to deal with it.
Well, you know, I would think if they would sit there for, you know, on and off for a week or something, and people realize that there's going to be a problem there, they would take a different alternative or slow down, you know. And the residents, what the last patrol officer came over, said first he had to calibrate his radar gun, which I have radar guns, I don't understand that.
We do it at the beginning of every shift, and after every ticket you write, and then at the end of your shift.
And then he said, well, they give him 15 miles an hour. That's too much in a 25-mile-an-hour zone. I mean, I think 11 is more than fair. There's no reason you should be going over 36 in a 25.
Well, could you leave your contact information, and he and I can talk to you offline, so we can, in respect of time here, because we're definitely going to deal with it. I want to assure you, we'll talk about it and we'll get in touch with you.
Okay.
So if you could leave that with the clerk before you leave,
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I live on Berkshire, which is the speed raceway coming down from Shepherd, and we have a sign. The police officer have been there quite a bit, but when the parents pick their kids up at Ledgeview, they cut down. And I'm like, you have a kid in the car, I have kids on the sidewalk, we have dogs, we have runners, we have walkers. And then, do you know what the speed limit is once you come on 82 at Crow? It's 25. Tell me how many people you've seen drive 25 on 82. Unfortunately, it's the way of the world right now, you know, and I appreciate the officers are trying their darndest, but I don't know what we do.
You know, quick, 15 years ago, I got a ticket going 36, following traffic at 6:30 in the morning going to work in front of Winking Lizard. And the police officer waved at the girl in front of me, pulled me over, going same speed as her, gave me a ticket. She got a wave, I got 2 points.
All right, next on our list is Mr. Simcoe.
I live on Shepherd Hills Boulevard, right at the top by Shepherd Road, and yeah, they just fly down. That's odd, and I appreciate with everything you're gonna do. I really do. And John said everything that you know that happens there on Shepherd Hills Boulevard.
I can assure you, this chief will work on it, and I will be in unison with him on that, so
Thank you.
we'll work on it. We'll be in touch. All right, last on our list is Ellen Bertel.
Ellen Bertel, 319 West Highland Road in Northfield Center. I'm here for the Historical Society of Old Northfield, and I guess you know why I'm here. We had a very successful year last year. We finished in the black for the first time, which enabled us to apply for a couple of very small grants. We'll find out whether or not we got our first grant next week. And, but I am here to ask if you would consider being generous as you were last year with a donation to our Historical Society so we can continue our operations and continue to keep our doors open. Does anybody have any questions on what we've done this year?
Last year, when we did this, you had a specific item. Do you have a specific item that you would use the funds for?
This year?
Yes.
Well, if we get the second grant that I applied for, which would be for a new side door and a new back door, the grant will not completely cover the full amount of that. So we would probably use part of that to offset the rest of that. Other than that, we did get a very nice donation from Home Depot to start renovating our basement. And as soon as we get the walls taken care of, we can start putting our pegboard up and our furring strips and start displaying all of our farm implements and other tools. So it would probably go towards the display, you know, the pegboard, the framing, the furring strips, and all the little clips and everything. So it'd be something permanent downstairs so that we could open up our display downstairs then.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
They do a heck of a job.
Did you get donations from Northfield Center this year?
Yes, we did. We got donation from Northfield Center, Northfield Village, Sagamore Hills, and the VFW also donated to us along with you.
Excellent.
And like I said, we had a very successful year. Ending up in the black as we did this year.
That's amazing.
Did make us eligible to apply for grants, because when you're in the red, you can't ask for money if you don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if anybody's ever applied for a grant or a loan, if you don't have it, you can't get it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
The grant we gave you was $50 last year. If I remember correctly.
$500. Yeah.
$500.
Yeah.
So
All right, we'll talk about
keep
it.
that
at
in
the next-
consideration for the
work
next
session.
meeting.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for continuing to report. We really appreciate it. This is something that we wanted as a condition of giving the help, and it's really nice to hear that you guys are benefiting from it and that you keep reporting your benefits that you're getting.
Well, like I said, next week, see, this week ended Home Depot's fiscal year.
Mhm.
So next week, I'm first in line to pick up donations, which is a good thing. And we got our gramophone fixed. We got that fixed free of charge. So now we can play our 78s by cranking up the old machine. Like I said, we've done a lot of improvements. We've worked on our display cases. They look really nice now.
Awesome.
And we were able to get a new mannequin for Sergeant Shope's uniform, which is that uniform for the young man who lost his life in the Battle of the Bulge. And his uniform came back to us a couple years ago, and now we have a nice mannequin for it, thanks to your generosity.
Well, yeah, we really appreciate the update, so thanks.
Okay.
Keep coming.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have anything on our website that talks about
Yeah, there is a
Is there
section
one?
on the website about the Historical Society.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's a great way to keep publicity going.
Okay.
Things to see and do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, correspondence from the clerk.
Sir, we have one letter from the Emergency Assistance Center to the Macedonia Police Department. It says, "Dear valued Macedonia Police Department, thank you for participating in the No Shave fundraising activity and donating $450 to the Emergency Assistance Center. Every donation we receive helps us support our neighbors in need by providing food and other basic necessities. All of us are experiencing challenging economic times, but those who come to us for assistance are especially struggling because prices for everything are increasing and their benefits are decreasing. Our clients very much appreciate the frozen meat, dairy, bakery, and fresh produce we provide, as well as the pantry and hygiene items that they receive at TEAC. We're excited to be starting out this new year with our big relocation. This could not be done without thoughtful donations like yours. You're making a big difference in people's lives. Thank you for your generosity. Warm regards, Joyce Hunt, Executive Director."
Thank you.
Just so you're aware, with this move, the target date is February 5th to reopen for clients.
Thank you. Okay, moving into pending or new legislation, starting with ordinance number 101, 2023.
Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance 101, 2023 for its third reading by title only.
Second.
An emergency ordinance authorizing an amendment to the Northfield Center Township Macedonia Joint Economic Development District Agreement regarding the addition of 2.3087 acres of land to be placed into the territory of the JED.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance pass and post according to law, ordinance 101, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance number 101 carries. Ordinance number 2.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 2, 2024, for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance authorizing the purchase of a Titan Pro Plus leaf vacuum loader and 2 Spartan-style leaf containment bodies from Bell Equipment Company through the Houston-Galveston Area Council Cooperative Purchasing Program for use by the Service Department.
Director Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, this is for the purchase of a pull-behind leaf vacuum unit, just like the ones that were passed earlier in the late of '23. It is for a unit and 2 containment bodies with right around the same capacity as the pull-behind units that we have now, the all-in-one units. This will allow us more efficiency in our operation, and this will add to the 2 that we already do have on order, and it will replace 3 of the 4 units that we have. So we're excited to get some of those older units moved out. As I mentioned before, we have some units dating back to the 90s and early 2000s. You know, we put a lot of money into them. It's time to get some stuff replaced.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I'd ask that we pass and post according to law ordinance number 2, 2024, please.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 2 carries. Resolution number 3.
I move to offer resolution number 3, 2024 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution authorizing the disposition of certain municipal property by the City of Macedonia in accordance with City of Macedonia Codified Ordinance Section 121.05 and Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15.
Chief Ripley.
This is to dispose of our 1999 pumper that was replaced with the one that we received in October. Really, there's an unknown value. It's pretty worn out. Tired. Northeast Ohio winters have taken a toll over in the last 3 or 4 years. That's it.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt resolution number 3, 2024 and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 3 carries. Resolution number 4.
I move to offer resolution number 4, 2024 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution authorizing the disposition of certain municipal properties by the City of Macedonia in accordance with City of Macedonia Codified Ordinance Section 121.05 and Ohio Revised Code Section 721.15.
Chief Ripley.
Again, this is replacing our original Hearst hydraulic jaws of life tools. They were replaced a couple years ago with battery operated, much more efficient, easier for the guys to use. These tools were originally purchased in 1981, so They've gave us a lot of good life and saved a lot of lives.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move to adopt resolution number 4, 2024, and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution number 4 carries. Resolution number 5.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer resolution number 5, 2024 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution authorizing the mayor to complete and execute consent legislation for ODOT's maintenance of the bridge crossing over Indian Creek in the city of Macedonia, ODOT PID number 113163.
Director Gelati.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. As we discussed in the work session, ODOT will be cleaning out the bridge under State Route 82, kind of in front of Dunkin' Donuts or the original City Hall building, scheduled to take place later this summer, no cost to the city.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I ask that we pass and post according to law ordinance resolution number 5, 2024, please.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution number 5 carries. Ordinance number 6.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to present ordinance number 6, 2024 for its first, second, and third readings by title only.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with B&B Theaters regarding admission tax collection and distribution.
So the cat's out of the hat. Cinemark's going to be no more with us. B&B has come in. They're a very robust theater. If you like movies, this is like the mecca of movie theaters. Recliners, food, drinks, the whole nine. They're looking to put a $6 to $7 million investment into the building. That will definitely make that a much nicer facility. Currently, we get about $75,000 from the admissions tax from the movie theater. The agreement with this is we will still get the first $75,000, they will get half thereafter. It's kind of an incentive that we're working with them on, given the investment that they're giving. That's capped out for 10 years. We think it's going to be a good fit for us, and again, it's going to make that movie theater a heck of a lot nicer and bring food and drinks into there as well. So kind of excited for that if it passes here, and I'll entertain any questions or comments from council.
Sounds like a good deal.
Hearing none, what is your pleasure?
I move that we pass ordinance number 6, 2023 and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance number 6 carries. Are there any other motions or legislative actions?
Yes, I offer a motion to accept the following donations to the Macedonia Police Department. $50 in gas gift cards from Sherry Bevan Walsh, $40 from Judith Johnson, and $200 from the Zoo family.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any other motions or legislative actions? Hearing none, I'll move into the mayor's report. New business in town, UT opened up last week. Kind of a new thing for me. I've never really had a boba tea. It's the thing with the little exploding, I don't know, flavored pearls or whatever they're called in them. Really kind of neat. I mean, my kids loved it. We enjoyed it. But if you like tea and you want to try something new, definitely go check them out. They're next to the smoke shop there across from Speedway. Pretty popular place so far from what I hear, and I know a lot of the high school kids love it, and good stuff. So give it a try. We want to see them be successful. Second thing I want to touch on is the new service building is in process. We're kind of at a point where we have a rendering for our new building. Just to bring everyone up to speed, if you haven't heard me with this rant before, we are currently operating out of 5 defunct buildings. This will kind of put it down to 1.5 buildings to where it'll be a safe, clean operation. It's centralized. It's at 9150 Valley View Road. It's the old aerosol building. We acquired that building for $1, so I think we got a pretty good deal on that. The whole idea is to rehab that entire building, put the service department in there, one facility to operate out of that would be neat, clean, safe, and will help serve the community. So all be funded internally. We won't go out to the voters for anything. That's something that we will fund with living within our means. I'd love to have something a lot more robust, but we're going to live within our means, and we're going to do this thing the right way. So more to come on that. Also, my executive assistant retired basically today. She had been with the city for about 15 years. We had a proclamation for her. I'm not going to reread that here because I think it was more special that we read it for her today during her luncheon on her exit from us. And I want to wish her well in her retirement. She's an amazing woman that did an awful lot for us. And I'm going to give the same joke, and I have to say the same thing over and over. So if you've heard us before, just bear with me here. I walked in one day to work, and this is a lot of the little things she did, and she looked at me and she went, "Oh boy," and I looked down and I didn't match at all, and I had to go home and change my clothes. I mean, it's stuff like that that you don't think about, and you know, I really never, had she not said something, I would look like a fool all day because I didn't match at all. So she's great. I miss her. I told her not to leave us forever, be a friend, come back and visit us. So I want to wish Diana well in her retirement. And again, she's an amazing woman that it's hard to replace. She does have a replacement. I did go through that process. Betty Hagedis will be taking over as of tomorrow. So looking forward to getting her on board and getting us up and running. Last but not least, please don't drive distracted. Put the phones down, drive the car. Please be safe. All right, committee reports.
Parks and Rec Commission had its first meeting of the year. We elected a new chairperson, Karen Bartolozzi. Vice chairperson will be Stacy Suji. We spent a lot of time talking about the recreation department going for CAPRA standards. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to talk about. So we'll be hopefully assisting them on that journey over the next year or so. And just had another good meeting about all the great improvements that were made over the last year. We had a nice charts and graphs printed out for us from Sam Edgar, highlighting some of the new things that they did and the highlights of 2023, as well as the improvements in the membership over the years, or over the last year. So that was exciting to see. Our next meeting will be the third week in February, the third Wednesday of February. I think that's the 21st. At 6 o'clock in the upstairs at the rec center. And are we still looking to fill a chair?
We do have an opening on the Parks and Rec, so if anyone's interested, I know we put it on the website in our open jobs thing. We also have 2 openings for alternates for the BZA, so we posted both of those onto the website if you're interested.
So yeah, Parks and Rec Commission meets once a month, not in December, and we take 1 month off in the summer, so there's 10 meetings in a month. Or 10 meetings in a year, so if anyone wants to join us, you can contact the mayor's office. And that's all for Parks and Rec.
Thank you. Any other committee reports? Hearing none, we'll move right to department reports, starting with Director Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. At first, I guess I want to talk about snow and ice a little bit. We finally got a little bit of snow, so I feel like the department did a great job. You know, it was on Friday, which is tough, and rush hours happening and everything like that. People are trying to get home, but I think all in all, they did a great job. I personally know what it's like to be in that situation where it's just coming down so fast that you can't keep up. And you know, we've had a lot of compliments and we've had some complaints, but it's hard to know when do I get off of a main street and hit a side road. So, and that's a hard judgment call for a driver to make, you know. You have a high priority road and should I go into a neighborhood? But I assure you that they're doing their best. They really are. They're trying to make that judgment call. You swing through a neighborhood once, you don't have time to spend a ton of time in there, and then you get back to your main roads and they're covering up as fast as you can keep up. So give them room, give them space, because they stop and back up a lot and push back corners and things like that. So that's the best thing you can do is slow down, give them space. Other than that, I've been working a lot on spring, summer stuff, getting mowing quotes, fertilization quotes. Joe and I are working on finishing up the legacy sign at the Commons. And I do have some hiring coming up. We'll have some positions open, so staying busy. Thanks.
Thank you. Director Gelati.
I thought they did a nice job on the snow removal.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't have any engineering items to report on tonight, but I would just like to say a quick word about Diana, who of course retired today. Long time ago, there was an old law director in a different town, and he told me that local municipal government is a team sport, and Diana was a great teammate. So congratulations to Diana on her retirement. End of report.
Thank you. Director Chaddick.
Thank you, Mayor. Lots going on as we have 2024 planning currently within Parks and Recreation. Weirdly enough, as we have snow coming down, we're actually sending out our applications for spring pavilion rentals and baseball, softball rentals out of the fields. Spring programming is all booked already, so we will be posting that to the public in the next couple weeks for their registration. So please keep an eye out for that. And right now we're just getting a lot of projects in alignment. I guess the one big thing to let everyone know is we had a filter break in our activity room, pump room. So that filter, when it broke, sprayed water all over the room. So we've had a couple service guys out the last couple days. We've had some contractors out on site. So our activity pool has been down for the last 2 days because unfortunately when the water sprayed all over the pump room, it took out the pump. We've been doing some maintenance work to that. We'll find out tomorrow if the final repair on it works or if we have to go get a new pump. So we'll keep everybody appraised of that situation. We ask for some patience as we try to get the activity pool running again. This is not something you can, quickly fix when it comes to water and electric. So we're taking our time, doing it the way it needs to be done. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Director Veras.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to follow up on what you just said, we have contacted our insurance company for this situation, and he says it is insurable, so we'll be gathering that information and deciding if we should go forward with an insurance claim. Also, I wanted to give kudos to Diana. Started working with her back in Independence in the late 90s, so Kyle and I are losing the leader of our Independence team, and I don't know if the road will, she won't be passing anybody else along, but we'll have to have her keep an eye out for future employees if the need occurs. Guess what, Fire Chief?
You want to say it for him,
No, I'll let him say it.
Resident refund packages are available on the website.
Fillable and non-fillable forms for those that don't know how to use a fillable PDF form. And you can always drop them off. We have a very good young employee in our office that handles most of the resident refund filings, and she fills the form out for you. If you want to just drop off your information, we'll handle it for you. End of my report.
Thank you. Director Collins.
Thanks, Mayor. 36 help desk tickets since the last council meeting, major projects, some new security and rights and changing things around in the police department a little bit digitally for those guys, so I appreciate them dealing with the transitional process, as well as the document management project is gaining some good traction in Mayor's Court. End of report. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Rodick.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple items. The house on Shepherd Road was demolished last week, and there's a couple small details I have to work on to get the house down on East Twinsburg, but I hope that will be done by mid-February. And secondly, my department's working on the year-end reports. Annually, we do that with the Ohio Board of Building Standards and with the Summit County Auditor's Office. That's all I have.
I want to reiterate that because I've been asked about that house ad nauseum forever. The White House on Shepherd is gone. It's demolished. That eyesore that's been there forever is now gone. Thank you for getting that done.
I had a lot of help. Thank you, Mayor.
Chief Ripley.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I would also like to echo the sentiments for Diana. She was an integral part of our team, and she will be replaced, but never replaceable. I'd like to remind everyone, the service department did a great job with snow, but your private contractors didn't do such a great job with burying the hydrants at the end of your driveway. That's your safety valve, and we may use it, but it's for you and protects you and your family. So if that unfortunate event happens, dig it out. If you are not physically capable, we will come do it. And also talk to your contractor. If just heavy snow, which we do get around here sometimes, Dan, I know you haven't yet experienced it, but they can get buried even when your plow drivers don't. So please keep them open so they're there, and we can find them if we need them. Other than that, that's the end of the report, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief Yakupovich.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Diana on her retirement and wish her all the best. And I want to thank Prosecutor Walsh, Miss Johnson, and the Zoo family for their donations. And then we got to talk about snow some more. And Dan, I think you guys did a great job. I mean, as best they could was as hard as it was coming down. But we did get a lot of complaints over the weekend. The biggest ones were residents leaving snow on the roadway. When you do your driveway or your sidewalk, you got to clear the snow out of the road. You can't push it out there. So, I mean, we have an ordinance that prohibits leaving snow on the road. You know, we don't want to be looking to cite people. Get out there, you're pushing it, clean it up, get it out of the way, get it out of the street. Also, we've had some issues, especially at intersections, typically traffic light issues, with people pulling far ahead of the stop bar. The ordinance requires if you can't pass completely through the intersection, let's say it's gridlocked, there's maybe 3 cars that are still in the intersection, people want to go past the stop bar and hope traffic moves. We need you to be patient, stay behind the stop bar, or when you stop at the red light, do it at or behind the stop bar. The biggest problem we have is with large vehicles, specifically fire trucks, coming off Valley View Road onto 82, and 82 eastbound is past the stop bar. It's very difficult for them to turn their ladder truck westbound on 82 because the traffic is out. So I only ask to be more conscious of that, and other than that, that's all I have, Mayor.
I'm gonna have you expound on something. This is one of my huge pet peeves in life.
Okay.
If you're at a light and you're turning left and it's green, you don't stop behind the stop bar. You pull out
That
into
is
the
correct.
intersection.
You take the intersection, you stop in the intersection, and after the light turns red, by law, you can still turn left. You still have the right of way.
Most people in Ohio don't know that, and it drives me absolutely bonkers.
All of Ohio.
I don't know what it is about Ohio, but my goodness.
I'm on the same page, Mayor.
You
I
have
can't
the right of
stand
way.
that.
That's all I wanted to get at. You have the right of way.
They probably don't have their turn signal on anyhow, so.
What's that? Oh, yeah, Director Goodetti. Okay, any unfinished business? Any new business?
I just want to congratulate Diana on her retirement. It was nice seeing her today. I haven't seen her in a while. She's always been very supportive of me as a council. She's always been very supportive of everyone here as a council. 1 year before Jason came and we had to do our own thing to entertain people for the lighting, Diana and I went and rented costumes. I was a snowman, Diana was a Christmas tree, and we had a great time entertaining the crowd while they waited to talk to Santa, so that's a great memory I'll never forget, and I hope she has a really great time exploring the country and the world while she's retired.
Just so you're aware, I have those pictures still in my phone.
It was great. It was great fun. I'd do it again.
One last thing I'll add, I was fortunate enough to get something from Bill McRitchie. I believe Chief, is he the grandson of
Bill is Pete's son, yeah.
Of the chief, though, the chief?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, he gave me some things from Mayor Long from, the 60s and 70s. And I'm going to go through them, and I may even put these on our website for people to see, because you want to have a really interesting read. I've spent quite a bit of time learning about the history of Macedonia and what they went through. And the one big thing in here was talking about water and how we didn't have water from Cleveland or Akron, and we didn't have enough water to support people that lived in their homes and what they were going through to try and get the water brought to homes. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I mean, it's a really, I've never read something about the history of Macedonia that I was so like intrigued by. So I may put that on the website for people to enjoy, because it's a letter he sent out to the people that lived in town, and they happened to save these, and it's an amazing, awesome read. So I may put those out for people to read, and you know, if you want to take a look at it, check it out. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
A house that doesn't have water